Hey folks, this is Mark at Copters and Crawlers RC Pacific Northwest. Thanks for dropping by. Just a little while ago, about an hour ago, I did my first sling load flight. My first scale air cargo transport flight with my beloved and trusty Blade 230 SV2. Installed a custom removable cargo hook here, which can be used either to snag cargo directly with the helicopter using this hook, or, which isn't scale, but it's fun and hard, but fun. Or I can use it for a more scale air cargo transport situation with a helicopter. And I've worked and lived around helicopters for quite a few years of my life, not as a pilot, but from my experience, this is how helicopters almost always haul cargo. They have a hook on the helicopter. It's attached to what they call a sling line. Alright, and that sling line is attached to the load. Okay, it's attached to the load. In this case, when the helicopter, and then there's the load and a basket. And when the helicopter lifts off, okay, the slack in this is as you saw, the hook just came off, and that's part of the challenge of it. But when the helicopter takes off, okay, when the helicopter takes off, the hook is sitting there like that. When the helicopter is spooling up, it's just sitting there like that, alright? Now, when the helicopter takes off, he's got to take off as vertical as possible, which will allow the hook to come up and snag the cargo, and off you go, alright? It's raining outside, by the way, in Seattle. Raining, okay? So that's how it works. And then when you land, you know, then you set it down like that, and the cargo either stays on, or the hook either stays on the cargo, or it comes off. Either way, and you land. You got to land carefully. It's a lot more difficult to take off with the sling load, and it's also a lot more difficult to land, but that's part of the fun. And if you don't take off right, you'll just tip this over and drag it, or the hook will come out of here. It's going to get a take off gently, so you can pull the hook right up here and take off. So it takes a lot of skill, a lot of practice, but all the flying, learning how to do this is fun. Now this, I got these here. So let's start off. So back to the kind of where I started. We got the hook is the first thing, and that's Velcro to the underside of the nose of the canopy. Now this is made out of the horn and the clevis and clevis keeper of an RC airplane, and also a short a section of a control rod. So that's what that is. We got the clevis horn from an RC plane, clevis and a keeper, a bent control rod to form a hook. Then that hooks onto a line, which in this case is nylon, and the line has a hook on it, which is made from a paper clip, which is painted red. The hook on the helicopter is painted red. Ditto for the hook on here, because you want to be able to see it. This here, both of these I got from my very first helicopter many years ago. Was an Air Hogs toy helicopter, and it had a hook that would lower from a button on the transmitter, believe it or not, with a winch. But so I took these two scale cargo situations here that I had left over from that Air Hogs helicopter, and I modified them a little bit, made it a little bit wider and taller to be picked up right here. And I made them scale. This was all just yellow plastic, but I painted the barrels blue with the silver caps on the top. That's probably fuel or something like that in there, theoretically. And then over here I painted the box with some silver trim and the black and whatnot. Okay, and then, so there you go. So that's the deal on that. Now when and then I have the camera that I'm holding right now is an action camera. It looks like a GoPro, but it's a Socoo, S-O-C-O-O. It's about 50 some odd dollars on Amazon, worth every penny. Very good price. So this fits on the underside of the helicopter right here. I've got Velcro hook on the underside of the helicopter, and I've got these spacers made with Velcro hook, which I can stack. So I can mount the camera on the back, looking almost straight down and a little bit forward, and that's what I use for the video, to catch video of flying with this sling load here. I can also put it up in the front here facing back, so I can see up past the tail rotor, which is really cool. I got videos of that. And I can also face the camera forward up in here. So a lot of options to mount my camera in different ways. I got the ready-to-fly version of this because my DX6E gave up the ghost, and instead of buying a whole new one, since I was really only flying helicopters now. I was flying planes for 3 years, but I kind of decided to taper down on my spending and on my activities, and specialize in helicopters. So that's what I'm doing now. And anyway, that's the DXE radio that came with this helicopter, and it's quite fabulous in all honesty. And I put a funky timer on there that works for me. Okay, and then here's the battery, and the CG. You know, when I've got the camera on here, I've got these different markings on here that you can see. The one in the middle says with the camera. That's in the nose position, and then there's another mark here that says aft camera. And there's another mark over here that says no camera. Anyway, I've got, every time I put a camera on the helicopter in a different spot, up in the nose, you know, way in the back. Every time I put it in a different spot, I've got to move the battery to adjust so that the CG will be how it should be. Moving the battery can compensate for the throwing off the balance of the helicopter by where the camera's mounted. All right. So there you go. The hook's removable, like I said before, and there you go. And you can also hook things directly. I think I mentioned it, but maybe not. I've got this hook set up. I started off with this hook, and I still use it for fun to pick up things just with the hook alone. You know, and it's not easy. You can watch my video. It's not easy, but you can do it, and it's fun. And then I can also use the same hook for my sling load. So that's my situation. I just thought I'd share how I've got things set up here on the Blade 230S. A lot of experimentation and stuff like that, but it really is a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. All right, so there you go. That's what I'm doing for my sling loading, or my air cargo transport setup for my Blade helicopter. I made the hook, which can be used alone to pick up cargo, and then I also do it in the more scale fashion, which is a sling load. We're using a sling line like that. Okay, so there you go. If you want to do that with your Blade 230S, there you go. That's how you can do it. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. This is Mark at Copters and Crawlers, RC Pacific Northwest. Thanks for sharing the hobby with me, and you have a great day today and every day. All right, see you soon. Bye bye now.